Question 201. The aggregate working load limit of your cargo tie-downs must be at least times the weight of the cargo. Answers: A. 4, B. 2.5, C. 2, D. 1/2. The correct answer is D. Explanation: Federal Motor Carrier Safety Regulations Part 393.106, issued by the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, FMCSA, requires the aggregate working load limit of any securement system used to secure an article or group of articles against movement to be at least 1/2 times the weight of the article or group of articles. Question 202. Flags or lights are required on projecting loads that extend. Answers: A. 4 or more feet beyond the rear body. B. 6 or more feet beyond the rear body. C. 56 inches or more beyond the rear body. D. 3 or more feet beyond the rear body. The correct answer is A. Explanation: a load that extends 4 feet or more beyond the rear body of the vehicle is considered a projecting load and thus requires a 12-inch square red or fluorescent orange flag in the daytime and 2 lit red lights visible for 500 feet at night. Question 203. Legal maximum weight limits may not be safe in all of the following, except. Answers: A. Traffic. B. A storm. C. Winter. D. Mountain driving. The correct answer is A. Explanation: maximum weight limits may not always be safe, especially in bad weather or steep mountain driving. Traffic is a fact of life, though. Question 204. Letting the air out of hot tires. Answers: A. Is a bad idea because when the tires cool off, the pressure will be too low. B. Will cool them down. You will be able to continue your journey sooner. C. Will have no effect at all. D. Is a good idea because the extra pressure will be relieved. The correct answer is A. Explanation: when tires get hot, the air pressure increases. However, relieving that extra pressure will leave the air pressure too low when the tires cool again, and then the tires may catch fire or blow out. If your tires are too hot to touch, stop until they have cooled down. Question 205. If you are drowsy, what action should you take before driving farther? Answers: A. Drink a cup of coffee. B. Open your vehicle's windows for some fresh air. C. Pull off the road and get some sleep. D. Drink energy drinks. The correct answer is C. Explanation: you cannot make drowsiness disappear by drinking coffee or other caffeinated beverages or by getting fresh air. They may make you feel more alert momentarily, but the only real solution is to get off the road and get some rest. CDL test. Master your CDL exam in no time. Download now. Question 206. The most important hand signal that you and a helper should agree on is. Answers: A. Stop. B. Go. C. Faster. D. Turn up the music. The correct answer is A. Explanation. You and your helper must agree on a hand signal for stop so that you'll be able to stop what you are doing before an incident occurs. Question 207. In which two special conditions should you downshift? Answers. A. Starting up a hill and finishing a curve. B. Starting down a hill and finishing a curve. C. Starting up a hill and entering a curve. D. Starting down a hill and entering a curve. The correct answer is D. Explanation. Downshifting before starting down a hill allows you to take advantage of engine braking. You should downshift to the gear required to climb the hill or lower. Downshifting before a curve improves stability and ensures that you will have the power to accelerate out of the turn. Question 208. How can you tell if your vehicle is equipped with an anti-lock braking system, ABS? Answers. A. All of the above can work. B. Check for yellow ABS malfunction lamps on the instrument panel. C. Look for wheel speed sensor wires that are coming from the rear of your brakes. D. Check if your vehicle was manufactured after March 1, 1998. Such vehicles are required to have the panel light. The correct answer is A. Explanation. Today, most vehicles with ABS have a light on the instrument panel that will light up briefly when the vehicle is started to alert you about the ABS. Or you can check for wires from your brakes. Question 209. Hazardous materials placards are. Answers. A. Signs that help tax collectors determine how much to tax hazardous cargo. B. Signs on the outside of the vehicle that identify the hazard class of the cargo. C. Signs that warn the public to stay at least 1,000 feet away from the vehicle. D. Signs on the inside of the vehicle that remind the driver what he is carrying. The correct answer is B. Explanation. Hazardous materials placards are 4 regulated signs on the outside of the vehicle that identify the hazard class of the cargo for those who need to know, such as emergency service personnel or those who load and unload cargo. Question 210. To avoid becoming a distracted driver. Answers. A. Turn off your cell phone, if possible, until you reach your destination. B. Have all your emotionally difficult conversations in the first hour of driving. C. Read maps or use your phone only when there are no cars around you. D. Smoke, eat, and drink on straight portions of the road. The correct answer is A. Explanation. A distraction is still a distraction, even on a straightaway or an empty road. Do not eat, drink, smoke, text, read, or have difficult conversations while driving. If possible, turn off your phone and keep it off until you are done driving for the day. Question 211. The temperature has just dropped to freezing. Which of the following areas may be slippery? Answers. A. A shaded area. B. A road that looks wet. C. A bridge. D. All of the above. The correct answer is D. Explanation. Once the temperature dips down to freezing, some sections of the roadway will begin to freeze, starting with shaded areas and bridges. A road that looks wet may have a layer of black ice, which is slippery. Question 212. Total stopping distance equals. Answers: A. Reaction distance plus viewing distance plus braking distance. B. Reaction distance plus braking distance. C. Perception distance plus reaction distance plus braking distance. D. Braking distance plus stopping distance. The correct answer is C. Explanation: total stopping distance is the sum of your perception distance, how far the vehicle goes from when you see the hazard until your brain processes it, reaction distance, how far the vehicle goes from when your brain orders your foot to take action until your foot actually starts to brake, and braking distance, how far the vehicle continues to travel once you apply the brake. Question 213. When backing, it is important to use a helper. Answers: A. Because you have blind spots. B. Because you are providing a job for someone else. C. Because people feel more comfortable when you do. D. For all of the above reasons. The correct answer is A. Explanation: using a helper when you are backing is important since you will be dealing with blind spots that you cannot see. Before you start, the two of you should agree on a set of hand signals, especially stop. Question 214. Which of the following types of vehicles can be operated without a CDL? Answers: A. Emergency snow plowing vehicles used during emergency snow removal situations. B. Military vehicles operated by active duty personnel. C. Farm vehicles if operated by a farmer within 150 miles of the individual's farm. D. All of the above. The correct answer is D. Explanation: there are several types of vehicles that can be operated without a CDL, but only under certain conditions. Check the list in the Colorado Commercial Driver License Manual or contact the Colorado DMV for details. Question 215. On which of the following types of fires should you not use a BC fire extinguisher? Answers: A. Gasoline. B. Electrical. C. Grease. D. Wood. The correct answer is D. Explanation: a BC fire extinguisher should not be used on burning materials that you can use regular water on, such as wood, paper, and cloth. These require an A or ABC fire extinguisher. Question 216. While performing the pre-trip inspection, you should place the starter switch key into your pocket because. Answers: A. Someone could steal the truck. B. All of the above could happen. C. Someone could start and move the truck. D. It could damage the starting mechanism. The correct answer is C. Explanation: while you are performing the pre-trip inspection, you do not want someone who doesn't know you're underneath the truck to start the engine and move the truck. Question 217. How close must a vehicle be from the simulated dock in the backing into alley dock maneuver during your skills test? Answers: A. No more than 36 inches. B. No more than 18 inches. C. No more than 12 inches. D. No more than 24 inches. The correct answer is A. Explanation. As part of your skills test, you will be asked to simulate backing into an alley with your vehicle's trailer in a square position, with your rearmost bumper no more than 3 feet from the simulated dock. You will only be allowed 3 attempts, so make sure that you practice. Question 218. Which of the following drivers may use the special non-CDL license for operating CMVs? Answers. A. All of the above. B. Firefighters. C. Interstate commerce drivers. D. For hire situational drivers. The correct answer is B. Explanation. Out of these options, only firefighters are allowed to use the special non-CDL license. Certain intrastate, not interstate, drivers may as well, depending on the situation, so make sure you check the full list online. Question 219. Which of the following must you present when applying for your District of Columbia CDL? Answers. A. Medical examiner certificate. B. Valid CDL learner permit. C. All of the above. D. Valid District of Columbia driver license. The correct answer is C. Explanation. When you go to take your CDL test, you must have your medical certificate, valid driver license, and CDL learner permit with you. But that's not all. You must also have your US DOT medical examination report, proof of US citizenship, and an empty commercial vehicle of the type you are trying to get licensed for. Before you go to take the test, check online to make sure that you have everything you need. Question 220. For how long will you lose your CDL driving privileges if you are convicted of a second DUI offense? Answers. A. 10 years minimum. B. Life. C. 5 years minimum. D. 1 year minimum. The correct answer is B. Explanation. Due to nationwide drunk driving laws, a second DUI offense in either a CMV or non-CMV vehicle will cause you to lose your CDL for life. See Federal Motor Carrier Safety Regulations Part 383.51, issued by the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, FMCSA. Your first offense is a wake-up call and a chance to get help, but your second offense is going to mean unemployment. If you get a DUI, seek help before you lose your salary and your future. CDL test. Master your CDL exam in no time. Download now. Question 221. Tire fires are commonly caused by. Answers. A. Overinflated tires. B. Underinflated tires. C. All of the above. D. Cold tires. The correct answer is B. Explanation. Underinflated tires and dual tires that touch are the most common causes of tire fires. Question 222. While you are on the road, how often must you stop to check your cargo? Answers. A. All of the above. B. After each break you take. C. Within the first 50 miles. D. Every 3 hours or 150 miles. The correct answer is A. Explanation: while the rules vary by jurisdiction, in DC, you must check your cargo within the first 50 miles of your journey and then every 3 hours or 150 miles, whichever comes first. Question 223. If you are confronted by an aggressive driver, you should. Answers: A. Do all of the above. B. Call the police from your cell phone if you can do it safely. C. Avoid eye contact. D. Ignore rude gestures and refuse to react negatively. The correct answer is A. Explanation: when an aggressive driver is trying to confront you, do not give the person the confrontation that he or she seeks. Instead, seek police, peace, and safety. Question 224. What is the most important and obvious reason to check your vehicle according to the state of Florida? Answers: A. Safety. B. C. If your vehicle needs a wash. C. Make sure your paint is not chipped. D. Employer liability. The correct answer is A. Explanation: safety is the most important thing. Inspections can help you avoid costly and dangerous breakdowns and collisions. Federal and state inspectors will check your vehicle, so you must make sure it's safe before they put you out of service for violations. Question 225. How many red reflective triangles should your safety kit contain? Answers: A. 5. B. 6. C. 3. D. 4. The correct answer is C. Explanation: in your safety kit, you should have either 3 red reflective triangles, 3 flares which burn liquid, or 6 fusees. Question 226. Why should you always use a helper to back up your truck? Answers: A. To check your driving style. B. Because it's the law. C. Because every truck has blind spots. D. To make sure you don't damage your truck. The correct answer is C. Explanation: kids, passers-by, other vehicles, or animals can all wander into your blind areas once you've started backing up. Have a helper to keep them away and warn you. Question 227. When a helper is assisting you with backing, what is the most important hand signal to agree upon? Answers: A. Keep backing. B. Go forward. C. Turn left. D. Stop. The correct answer is D. Explanation: it is essential that your helper can get you to stop quickly for any problems. Agree on a clear hand signal for this command before starting. Question 228. What do retarders do? Answers: A. May cause your vehicle to skid more easily. B. All of the above. C. Reduce brake wear and tear. D. Apply braking power to the drive wheels. The correct answer is B. Explanation: Retarders, of which there are many types, apply braking power directly onto the driving wheels, which reduces brake wear and tear and means you will not have to use your brakes as often. Retarders, however, may also make you more likely to skid when you have poor wheel traction, so turn them off in bad weather. Question 229. When going down a downgrade with an automatic transmission, you should. Answers. A. Change your range in the middle of the downgrade once you've gathered speed. B. Select a higher range, which will give you greater braking. C. Switch from a high to a low range once you reach maximum downgrade. D. Select a low range, which will give you greater braking. The correct answer is D. Explanation. Automatic transmissions come with low ranges which allow you greater braking abilities for downgrades. These keep the transmission from shifting itself up beyond your selected gear and are very important for safety. Question 230. When shifting up, what's next in this sequence? Release accelerator, push and clutch and shift to neutral, then. Answers. A. Push and accelerator. B. Release clutch. C. Shift. D. Push clutch in again. The correct answer is B. Explanation. The sequence of double clutch shifting isn't easy, since the next step, after releasing the clutch, is letting the gears and engine slow down to the required RPM for your next gear. Get thoroughly familiar with it. Question 231. You start traveling twice as fast. How much will your stopping distance increase? Answers. A. 4 times. B. 2 times. C. 1.5 times. D. 3 times. The correct answer is A. Explanation. When you double your speed, such as increasing from 20 to 40, your stopping distance increases fourfold. If you were to triple your speed to 60, the stopping distance increases to 9 times as much. Question 232. What is the best way to check the sides and rear of your vehicle? Answers. A. Check your reflection in other vehicles. B. Adjust your mirrors to see clearly before starting and check regularly. C. Simply rely on turning and looking at your blind spots. D. Stop every 50 miles and check. The correct answer is B. Explanation. Mirrors are your most important assets for checking the front and rear of your vehicle, and you should check them regularly in normal situations and rely on them even more in traffic and special situations. Question 233. Empty trucks have the best braking distance. Answers. A. Can tell without more information about vehicle. B. Can tell without more information about cargo. C. True. D. False. The correct answer is D. Explanation. Trucks are designed to work their best when they are fully loaded, despite the strain this might put on the brakes. As a result, an empty vehicle would require greater braking distance and would not have the best braking distance. Question 234. Hydroplaning is most likely to occur in which of these conditions? Answers. A. It has just started raining. B. The temperature is below freezing, but the road looks wet. C. You are in a shady area of the morning after a freeze. D. You are on a bridge right before a freeze is forecast. The correct answer is A. Explanation. When it first begins to rain, water collects on the road and washes off the road oil, causing a slippery surface conducive for hydroplaning. You will be able to regain control by pushing in the clutch and letting go of the accelerator. All the other situations mentioned are dangerous for possible skidding since they involve slippery surfaces. Question 235. You should avoid swinging too wide to the left before turning right because. Answers. A. It's against the law. B. You're moving into facing traffic. C. It won't help you make the junction. D. Other drivers may attempt to pass you on your right-hand side. The correct answer is D. Explanation. Other drivers may not realize your intentions, and if there's a big enough gap, they may try to get through on the inside, moving into your blind spot as they do so. Question 236. What should you do when you are being followed too closely? Answers. A. Decrease following distance. B. Make a rapid lane change out of the situation. C. Increase following distance. D. Hit the brakes. The correct answer is C. Explanation. If you are being followed too closely, you should avoid any sudden changes, including braking or changing lanes. Instead, increase your following distance. This way, the tailgater can pass and/or you will have more reaction time for any problems. Question 237. How many seconds of following distance should you leave if you have a 30-foot vehicle and you are traveling at 55 miles per hour? Answers. A. 6 seconds. B. 3 seconds. C. 4 seconds. D. 5 seconds. The correct answer is C. Explanation. You must leave 1 second of following distance for each 10 feet of your vehicle and then an additional second if you are traveling over 40 miles per hour. Question 238. What amount of sleep the night before triples your risk of falling asleep at the wheel? Answers. A. 3 hours. B. 2 hours. C. 6 hours. D. 4 hours. The correct answer is C. Explanation. People are often surprised when they find out that it takes just 2 missing hours from getting 8 hours of sleep per night to put you at severely increased risk of an accident. Pilots are not allowed to fly under such conditions, and you should not drive in them either. Question 239. What is the first step of proper braking technique when going down a steep downgrade? Answers. A. Release the clutch. B. Put the engine in the proper low gear. C. Accelerate. D. Release the brakes. The correct answer is B. Explanation. Before you even apply the brakes, you want to make sure that you are in the proper low gear to start the downgrade, since you may be unable to change after you start your descent and will be busy applying then easing off then applying the brakes. Question 240. Which is not an effect on driving from drinking alcohol? Answers: A. Speeding. B. Driving between two lanes. C. Fast, sudden stops. D. Not turn signaling or failing to use appropriate lights. The correct answer is A. Explanation: while it is true that some under the influence do go a bit fast, often drunk drivers are unable to tell their own speed and will go under the speed limit, stop suddenly, weave, and run into curbs. Speeding is not an effect on driving mentioned in your manual. CDL test. Master your CDL exam in no time. Download now. Question 241. What can traffic accidents caused by use of drugs lead to? Answers: A. All of the above. B. Death. C. Injury. D. Property damage. The correct answer is A. Explanation: those operating heavy vehicles are essentially using deadly weapons when in an altered state, since it's very easy to kill those in a smaller vehicle with your truck, even accidentally. It could mean the end of your career and even your life as a free man or woman. Question 242. If you do not have enough weight on the front axle. Answers: A. You may not be able to steer safely. B. You may experience all of the above. C. You may have poor traction. D. You may experience tire failure. The correct answer is A. Explanation: underloading your front axle may lead to the inability to steer safely because the steering axle weight is too light. If you underload the driving axle, that may cause poor traction. Question 243. How much are you required to slow down for law enforcement, emergency workers, or tow truck drivers if you can't move over? Answers: A. 15 miles per hour below speed limit. B. 20 miles per hour below speed limit. C. None, if you cannot move over. D. 10 miles per hour below speed limit. The correct answer is B. Explanation: Florida's move-over law requires you to slow 20 miles per hour below the speed limit on two-lane roadways, move to another lane, or slow to a speed of 20 miles per hour below the speed limit on multiple-lane roadways, and slow to 5 miles per hour if the speed limit is 20 miles per hour or less. Not following this new law could result in both fines and points on your driver's license. Question 244. Which of the following drivers is not exempt from obtaining a CDL under Florida law? Answers: A. All of the above. B. A farmer carrying bread to the market. C. A long-haul trucker carrying bread. D. Military vehicle drivers. The correct answer is C. Explanation: only military, emergency personnel, farmers and farm employees, but not those employed to drive vehicles for farms and recreation vehicles are exempt from needing CDLs. Those hauling product, regardless of whether it is food or not, must have a CDL. Question 245. During a walk-around inspection, you should check the front of your vehicle for. Answers: A. No loose or worn parts in the steering system. B. Damage to the windshield. C. All of the above. D. Condition of your lights. The correct answer is C. Explanation. There are a wide range of things to check at the front of your vehicle. If it's anywhere on the front end of your vehicle, you should be checking it for damage before a trip. Question 246. If you have an automatic transmission, when should you downshift? Answers. A. When you're going down steep grades. B. When you have trouble going fast enough. C. When you start to get drowsy. D. When you feel you're driving too fast. The correct answer is A. Explanation. When you have an automatic transmission, selecting a low range allows engine braking to slow your acceleration on steep grades. Question 247. What must you do as a result of Georgia's move over law if you see any emergency vehicle including tow trucks? Answers. A. Move over to another lane, if possible. B. All of the above. C. Slow below the posted speed limit. D. Be prepared to stop if asked. The correct answer is B. Explanation. The move over law was created because a serious amount of emergency and law enforcement personnel are killed by being run over, and 30% of accidents are caused by another accident. If you see flashing lights, you must move over. If you cannot, you must slow down and be prepared to stop. Question 248. If testing your hydraulic brakes for leaks, you should. Answers. A. Apply firm pressure for 5 seconds, then pump the brakes 3 times. B. Pump the brakes 5 times, then apply pressure for 3 seconds. C. Pump the brakes 3 times, then apply pressure for 5 seconds. D. Pump the brakes 3 times, then apply pressure for 10 seconds. The correct answer is C. Explanation. When testing your hydraulic brakes, you want to pump the brakes 3 times. At that point, you should then hold the pedal down with firm pressure for 5 seconds. If it moves at all, it is possible that the brakes have a leak or other problem. Question 249. Which of these constitutes communicating safely? Answers. A. Flashing your lights at night whenever you need to pass. B. Using headlights at night or during bad road conditions. C. Tapping your horn when legal, whenever you need to pass. D. All of the above. The correct answer is D. Explanation. There are numerous ways to safely communicate your presence. You should, if it is legal, lightly tap your horn when passing during the day or flash your lights at night and use your headlights at night or whenever it's hard to see. Use emergency lights whenever you must park suddenly in the road or on the shoulder. Question 250. What is the main difference between aggressive driving and road rage? Answers. A. All of the above. B. Level of anger. C. Intent to do harm or physical assault. D. Outcome of situation. The correct answer is C. Explanation. Aggressive driving constitutes behavior that can be very dangerous and pushy and may lead to accidents or other issues. However, road rage is operating a vehicle with the actual intent to cause harm to someone or physically assault them or their vehicle. The level of anger may be the same as an aggressive driver, it is just expressed more dangerously.